Professor Bologna, Isa Del Nord, Giussi, Agnese, Del Nord, Professor Felli, ladies and gentlemen. Felicia Antoniana and my wife Nancy and I came 6,000 miles to honor our friend Romano. And what I'm going to say to you this afternoon in the next few minutes is what I failed to say to Romano when I had a chance. Why is it we wait until too late to tell our friends and our colleagues how much we appreciate them and how much we love them? Why is it too late? Why did I wait too late to tell Romano how much I appreciated his intimate invitation to all that is best in Italy? This is my favorite photograph because it captures the many moments we spent together. Typically, I would be drawing, and typically Romano would be telling me a joke. And he'd be telling me the joke in Italian, a language that I don't understand, until he came to the punchline, which he would give me in English, perfect English, which gave me the job of reverse engineering all the way back through the Italian to get the full intent of the joke. There's a beautiful word in English, elegy. I think the word is similar in Italian. It's a beautiful word because it captures two opposing sentiments. On the one hand, lamentation, and on the other hand, celebration. And so today, in my few minutes here, I want to present an elegy in memory of my friend Romano. It's entirely appropriate on an occasion like today for the work of our friend and colleague to be presented and reviewed and discussed. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that to others. Instead, I want to reflect on Romano, the man. After all, the man pre-existed the work, and it's out of the qualities of the man that the work, the research, the teaching, writing, and design evolved and got its birthright. So I was thinking, what was it that made Romano such a special person, leaving a legacy of special work? I first met him in Trondheim in 1997, I think it was, where he charmed all of us, the whole audience, architects and doctors, with music by Vivaldi, who had been, and I didn't realize it at the time, here at the Children's Hospital in Florence. Over the next 25 years, we collaborated on a number of projects of significance to us and to Romano and his colleagues, culminating in the Maya Children's Hospital here in Careggi. Romano always had his phone with him, no matter where I met him. He had his phone and his camera. On his first visit to America, he told Nancy, he picked up his car at the airport in Miami, went out into the parking lot where there was just thousands of cars. He found his car, and then he couldn't start it. It would not start. So most of us would then go all the way back to the rental agency. Romano didn't do that. He called his friend in Milan to find out how to start a car in America. His friend told him, put your foot on the brake and put the car in gear and it will start, and it did. He's gone. but what an impression he left. Of all the architects I know around the world, I can think of none like Romano, like this Florentine, who could be truly called a Renaissance man. He was one of those persons whom everybody liked immediately because of his simplicity, because of his naturalness, because of his comradeship, his personality, and his originality. He had another quality, heart. He was an extraordinarily humane individual, sensitive, a rare man, equal parts action and thought, a man of shining revolutionary virtue and human sensitivity. He put into his life that one ingredient that can only come from a human being, and that was love. Love for his work, love for life, love for Isa, the family, and his colleagues. His work was always well rooted in research and poetry and art, music and science, and promoted the aesthetic, scientific, and practical efficiency of architecture. In short, he was a cultured, gentleman, with charm, empathy, a wonderful sense of humor that even an Englishman could understand. And I could enjoy that. And why did I not tell him that eye to eye? Especially notable was his integrity. Nobody who knew him could conceive of him doing anything mean or small. Many working with him in close quarters can testify you could always go to him and be sure that any advice he might give would be based on high principle. His moral sense was sound, and his word was his bond. He could be depended upon. Excuse me, I have an allergy. A man, Rudyard Kipling, told the undergraduates of St. Andrews University in Scotland, may be festooned with all of the haberdashery of success and go to his grave a castaway. The one thing that lasts is character. It is the only thing we take with us into the other world, and Romano had that in spades. He elevated our profession with his gracious, dignified manner. He raised our standards with his consistency and commitment, and he made us proud of what we as architects do. Architecture is difficult. Two things are needed for our kind of work. One is tireless persistence, and the other is the ability to discard something on which we've invested a great deal of labor and many ideas. He was a teacher of large numbers of students, particularly those interested in healthcare. He was a prolific author of papers and books with international influence. A designer in a real-life practice, GSP, producing award-winning work, a researcher in the realm of evidence-based design for health, and an able university administrator with significant responsibilities for one of the world's great universities. One of his books, which he gave me, dedicated to Isa, and excuse my Italian, Le nuove dimensioni strategi dell'ospedale di eccellenza. Is that okay? Is a monumental piece of work that's made an enormous contribution worldwide to the field of healthcare architecture. It's comprehensively researched, beautifully documented. The graphics are outstanding, and it shows 45 individual organizations and facilities around in 15 countries with detailed descriptions and thoughtful analyses. On my way here, I thought, if we want to say we want men of the future generations, architects of the future generations, teachers and practitioners, to be what we want them to be, we should say, let them be like Romano. I thank him for the standards he set for all of us, standards of discipline, hard work, vision, style, candor, civility, and humor. I thank him for making us proud of this university, proud of us foreigners to be part of CSBE. To quote the English poet Alfred Lord Tennyson, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. That was Romano. It was a pleasure for me to enjoy him as a colleague and a friend, and he's sorely missed. Thank you for inviting me here today.